The sinking of MS Estonia, the mystery beneath the Baltic Sea. In the dark, cold waters of the Baltic Sea lies one of Europe's greatest maritime tragedies, the MS Estonia. A ship that was supposed to bring hundreds of passengers safely home, but instead became the resting place for over 800 souls. This is the story of the MS Estonia, the modern ship that vanished beneath the waves in just minutes, leaving behind questions that still haunt investigators and families to this day. The MS Estonia was more than just a ferry. It was a symbol of a new Europe. Built in 1980 and operated by the S-Line company, it sailed proudly between Tallinn, Estonia, and Stockholm, Sweden. Every day, it carried hundreds of passengers, businessmen, students, families, and tourists across the Baltic Sea. It was considered a safe, modern vessel equipped with the latest navigation and safety systems. No one could have imagined what would happen on the night of September 28, 1994. It began as a routine voyage. That evening, 989 people boarded the ship, 803 passengers and 186 crew. The weather forecast predicted strong winds, but nothing unusual for the Baltic in autumn. As the Estonia left port around 7 p.m., music played, people dined, and some relaxed in the ship's bars. It was a calm night until the storm arrived. By midnight, the Baltic Sea had turned violent. Waves as high as 4 meters battered the ship. The Estonia began to roll and sway. Passengers could hear the metallic groans of the hull straining under pressure. But storms were common, and the crew continued their routine. Then, at around 1 a.m., a deep, heavy bang echoed through the ship, followed by another. Passengers later recalled hearing metal tearing, like something being ripped apart. The Estonia lurched sharply. Unbeknownst to everyone on board, the ship's bow visor, a massive door at the front used to load cars, had been torn off by the force of the waves. Behind that visor was a ramp that led directly into the car deck. And now, seawater began flooding in at a terrifying speed. The ship immediately began listing to starboard. Within minutes, corridors turned into tunnels of rushing water. People were thrown from their beds. Panic spread as lights flickered and alarms failed to sound properly. The crew struggled to send a distress call. At 1:20 a.m., a Mayday message was finally transmitted. Mayday, Mayday, Estonia is listing heavily. It was the last communication ever received from the ship. Within 30 minutes, the Estonia rolled completely onto its side. Many passengers couldn't escape their cabins as the ship turned. The cold Baltic water poured in, dragging furniture, luggage, and people with it. At 1:50 a.m., just half an hour after the distress call, the Estonia disappeared beneath the sea. Out of 989 people on board, only 137 survived. 852 lives were lost, making it the second deadliest peacetime sinking of a European ship after the Titanic. The rescue operation faced fierce winds, freezing temperatures, and total darkness. Some survivors clung to life rafts for hours before being found by helicopters and nearby ships. When the sun rose over the Baltic, the surface was littered with wreckage and silence. The Estonia was gone. The world demanded answers. How could a modern ferry sink so quickly? An international investigation was launched by Estonia, Finland, and Sweden. After years of analysis, the official report concluded that the bow visor had failed during the storm. When it broke off, the ramp behind it opened, letting seawater flood the car deck, a deadly scenario that doomed the ship within minutes. But even today, many question that explanation. Divers and journalists later claimed to have found holes in the hull, as if caused by explosions. Some suggested there might have been secret military cargo on board, covered up by the governments involved. Others believed that the full truth was never revealed to protect political and economic interests during a sensitive time in post-Soviet Europe. In 1995, the governments decided not to raise the ship or recover the bodies. Instead, they declared the wreck site a grave, banning diving and sealing the Estonia forever under the sea. This decision fueled even more suspicion. Why hide the wreck? What were they trying to protect? Over the years, documentaries, survivors, and independent investigators have tried to uncover the truth. In 2020, new underwater footage revealed a previously unseen hole in the hull, reigniting debates about what really caused the tragedy. The Estonian government has since reopened the investigation, promising to search for new answers. But for the families of the victims, answers are still out of reach. Many never received their loved ones' remains. Memorials stand in Tallinn and Stockholm, where names of the lost are carved into stone, a reminder of that cold, stormy night when everything went wrong. The MS Estonia tragedy remains one of the most haunting maritime disasters in modern history, a ship that vanished in less than an hour, a mystery that refuses to rest. Beneath the Baltic waves, the Estonia still lies in silence, a ghost of steel and sorrow, carrying with it the unanswered question: what really happened that night?